I want to start off by apologizing. Later on, I refer to a couple of the attacks in this as the Sub-Zero attack, and it's actually the Harpoon, but I keep saying the Sub-Zero attack, and what I actually meant to say was the Scorpion attack. It's from Mortal Kombat, but as you go, you'll see and you'll realize that I'm an idiot and I was misspeaking. But it is supposed to be Scorpion, not Sub-Zero. So in this battle, my recommendations for fighting Kendall is to have other guys around you so you can fight them and actually build up your special attack. In addition to that, I think one of the more important things to do is actually try to aim for the hot zones that'll allow you to do the stun attack, which then will end up taking down a decent amount of the health. In addition to that, I would get somewhere close to where you have a lot of arrows, because you have a really hard time actually getting past the shield and the lunging attack that Kendall has. The big issue that I had when I was doing this battle is I did it early on in the game before I had the option or the ability to upgrade the quiver. So I ended up having to continuously go and find arrows that either I had used to kill the guys that are around us fighting, or I had to go to a tree stump or something like that, like a shield that was laying nearby that had arrows stuck in it.
How'd the trolls take you?
I have seen a crown on a cleaning basin. There it was. I stole it, ran with it, hid it. Now maggots feast on it. I am certain. Let them rule old Albion.
I'll kill you! Let's go!
See you, Reaver.
Won't hold out much longer.
Got your last fool.
This is another one of the Zealot battles that I personally had a little bit of trouble with, and the main reason was because I was having some issues shooting the person in the head. In addition to that, I was early in the game. I only had one adrenaline bar, as well as I was also kind of limited on the number of arrows that I could carry with me. The main reason was because I hadn't had a good opportunity to be able to upgrade my quiver yet. I also didn't really have a whole lot of health to be able to regenerate that either. So these Zealot battles that I had early on in the game were actually somewhat difficult because of that. Now, as you see here, I run out of arrows as well as I don't have any adrenaline, so I have to run off. And I was lucky enough to be next to this camp where I was able to run up here and pick up a few extra arrows. I think it's like 4 or 5 or something like that. And then because I'm actually up above the other person now, I actually have a much easier time shooting them from up here over top of the shield. So it ends up being a pretty decent strategy for beating this Zealot member.
A worm came creeping. He tore a man in two. Then Woden took 9 glory twigs.
Is this a prayer, an offering, or a final vestige of your oath?
Only a charm I never finished.
Cops! Beckons, Raven King.
As you can see, this guy decides to end up leaving his face a lot more exposed than many of the other Zealot members do, at least with these guys that have the shields. So this one's a little bit easier to defeat because of that. If it wasn't for that, this guy would actually probably been pretty tough. The shield's not as big, doesn't really protect his face as much. As you can see, I still only have a few arrows, and I only still have the one adrenaline bar, and you know, I do a decent amount of running away from this guy. He also has these like landmines that he'll throw out, which end up, if you run over top of them, they'll blow up. And I think that if you shoot them, they'll actually go off and hopefully, you know, possibly hurt him. So it's a strategy for anybody out there that still has to battle these guys that throw the landmines.
I once served and prayed under St. Chad at Tamworth. I was a monk. I should have stayed there.
Did St. Chad die with his axe in his hand?
St. Chad will be revered for avoiding the axe. I wish I had done so myself and not taken a path full of violent honor. The old gods will fade from our sight in time. God forgive me, for I have sinned.
Here's another Zealot battle that's really not all that bad. This guy's not super strong, and as you could tell, he really didn't seem as though he wanted to jump out of the way of the arrow. But as you can see here, I don't think a single one of those axes hit him. And then, as you'll see right here, he jumps out of the way anytime my crosshairs get on him for the arrow. So one of the keys for this guy is you have to be either really quick with your arrow shooting, or you have to shoot him. You basically got to shoot him when he's jumping at you. When he does that move on as he's jumping towards you, if you're quick enough, you can do it. You may not actually be able to do a power shot or anything like that, but you can actually do that. Eventually, here in a couple of minutes, I actually run out of arrows, and I have to essentially adopt a separate technique for fighting this guy.
Feel that lovely
So here, as you can see, I've upgraded to 2 adrenaline sections. I'm about to use my last arrow, which I did right there, and he has, 30% roughly of his life left. So now what I have to do is I have to time each one of his attacks. So I have to dodge and then attack. Currently I'm using the hammer. It's not necessarily the best weapon in the game. It is fairly strong. This attack right here is actually probably one of the most, and if you look, you can see how much of his health I'm taking away with that one attack. Probably one of the best, and it's great.
All of these men of God, festooned in gold and silver.
It is enough to make one blind.
We are blind of now. Lanius was our only king. He saw straight and fought alongside Arturius. We have been blind ever since.
For being a large guy, this Zealot battle isn't really all that difficult. He doesn't really do a very good job of blocking anything, and then as you can tell, as I've progressed in the game, you can see my strategies. I'm aiming directly for his weak spots, and then that pretty much took up about a third of his health away. So as you learn more about the game and you get more skills and everything like that, a lot of these Zealot battles start to become much easier. One key thing to focus on always is your energy meter in the bottom, and make sure that you're not completely using that up with dodging or anything like that, because that's how these guys will actually be able to attack you so much easier.
Not enough holes in you yet!
No sunlight reaches where you are going. May you bathe in serpent skins. Your name, Frownhorde, Quick the Dead, whatever it may be, is stained forever.
My name's Horsa. I left silver in the mouth of my home. Please say that it is spent well and frivolously.
Here's another Zealot battle that doesn't seem to be all that difficult. Another guy who appears as though he wants to just continuously take arrows to the face. So this guy's not too bad. As you can see, I'm trying to do the I think it's the rush attack right there, and he obviously is able to try to dodge it. As this fight goes on, you see him start to dodge my arrows and everything, so it does become a little bit more a little bit more difficult to do. I am trying to aim for his right arm so that I can do the stun attack, but inevitably it doesn't end up working out for me. I will say that this little Sub-Zero attack is, in my opinion, probably one of the most overpowered attacks in the game, because later on, once you upgrade to the second version of it, you actually you can attack, you can do it, and then pull him either towards you, away, to the left, or the right. And when you do that, especially if you pull it towards you, what'll happen is he'll pull it towards you, and then you actually slice on him with your with whatever weapon it is that you have. So it actually is quite powerful to be able to use, especially once you upgrade it to the second level.
Why? Lost are everyone.
You mostly, Adkut.
Bretha, Ustre, and Setere. I served the true gods. The old ones. To be killed by you holds honor. Killing holds all glory.
Right here, as you can see, I'm gonna shoot him in the leg, and then I jump forward thinking that I'm gonna end up getting that stun attack on him, which inevitably ends up not working. Some of the Zealot members have wolves and stuff that come along with them. It's not too bad. They're usually fairly easy to kill. As you can see, this attack does so much damage. As you can look and see up top there, it takes away 25% of the guy's health, and all you really have to do is let it build up again and then continuously do those attacks, because they don't really have much of a defense against them. So it's another strategy that you can use to fight these Zealot members that are actually fairly strong. Here I am again, trying to hit him in the ankle or the foot, and boom, I got him, and that took away the last bit of his health. And that ends up really making these Zealot battles much easier to do when you're good with your arrow and you can actually hit those hot spots.
This is a mere moment. No one will remember it. No one. Not your name, nor mine. It all ends up the same.
Regret torments you.
My only regret is losing to whatever you are. You reek of fading glory.
Not what you expected! Keep walking!
I would have to say the biggest takeaway from this battle has to be the headshots. If you look at these headshots right here, the amount of life that they're taking away is huge. So that's a big importance on getting your ability to use the arrows and everything very, very good, to where you can actually start doing that kind of stuff and actually getting the headshots where the life and stuff will go down. That way you're also not using all your arrows in your battles as well.
No more winters for you.
Better to die than face my lords. I hope my Magister Magnus forgives me. For so long, I looked to him for guidance, for order.
If your honor is slow, a true lord cannot forgive you. They cannot.
Now I will turn my gaze to Warden, Tiwar, and Shunor. I will continue to turn until I find some forgiveness.
You will spin and drill yourself to an endless bottom.
Please, unclean vermin!
With me, brother!
Charged arrow shots like that one right there do a lot of damage when it comes to headshots as well. And right here, I'm about to get this attack, that Sub-Zero attack, where you actually slice them, takes them away a decent amount of damage as well. And right here, I actually have all 4 of the adrenaline shots, and I continue to utilize the same attack because it obviously works over and over. It's tried and true, it does plenty of damage, and there's no issue with it.
In the kingdom of Frisia, we honor your type, pagan. We strive as you strive to achieve the perfection of the Ancient Ones.
Pagan?
To be pagan is perfect.
I don't think I can stress enough the importance of coming into one of these Zealot battles with full adrenaline, with all four of them, since, as you can see, those two attacks right there that I did took away roughly half of the health of this particular Zealot member. And then, as I continue to fight, here's a stunned attack, which ends up taking away a lot more of the health. So it really makes the battle so much easier when you come in with a full ability of adrenaline, arrows, and actually being able to aim those arrows.
Valhalla, now you die.
My sword is lost, floating down a creek. I shall follow till I dance again, or drown.
Coming up right here, I use the Sub-Zero attack, right? Knocks him down. I think I have a short blade out, so I use that. Then I back up a little bit and use a little bit of distance between me and the guy, and I start doing more charged headshots. Those charged headshots actually knock him off balance. And then eventually, I utilize the Sub-Zero attack again and get him. And I realized just now that I keep saying Sub-Zero. It's actually obviously not Sub-Zero, it's Scorpion, so I feel like a complete idiot. So earlier on in the video I had said Scorpion a whole bunch of times, or Sub-Zero a bunch of times, but it's obviously not Sub-Zero, it's Scorpion.
Offa betrayed us all, Indira. Now we crawl about for the scraps. Whatever crumbs you leave behind after your raids.
You wish you were a raider, a dringer.
Yes.
Farvel, Swordcloven.
no real tips for this battle or anything like that. As you can tell, I have all 4 of the adrenaline things, and I actually utilize them on a fairly regular basis in these battles. You can also look and see that this Zealot member is a much higher level than I am, and there's really not much of a worry there. As you get higher and higher in the levels, that actually, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily matter. I was able to defeat some of them that were far higher than I was. I was maybe at like 220 or something like that, and I think the highest person on the game might be 370 or something, and I was able to battle that person. You just have to stay away. Their attacks, when you're lower, their attacks are they mean so much more, and they'll do so much more damage to you. You just have to be a little more, I guess, cunning with the way that you actually dodge and try to miss their attacks.
I love breaking reavers.
I often awake in my vagrancy, shaking and sweating. I hope this stops now.
Farewell. The trolls await. Go.
I've said it before, if you can get the stun attack, try to hit those sensitive areas, and if you can, as you can see, I come up here and I take about a third or 25% of this guy's health away right off of the bat with a couple of arrows and then the stun attack. So if it's definitely strategies that can go into fighting these guys to the point where you take their health down fairly quickly, and it's actually pretty easy to fight them. This guy right here just seems to want to continuously take arrows to the face, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's what it is, and that's how he's going to fight, and obviously it's the reason why he's going to end up losing.
We sweat and toil to reach this moment.
The ancient ones lap at my sweat now. That war sweat the Roman gods hate so much, we long for.
Discard all that. A good feast with fresh battle milk on your brows is not something you will ever taste again.
Choke on my bones.
My recommendation for when they do start throwing those like kind of landmine looking things, because eventually this guy will throw them at me, is if you can, it's actually, in my opinion, it's not that bad of an idea to shoot them, because realistically, if you run over them, it's gonna kind of stun you a little bit, and it's actually gonna give them a better opportunity to attack you. I will say, what you saw right there with it kind of slowing down after I had dodged, that's also another one of the very, very strong abilities in the game. It's just a skill ability, and obviously as long as you time your dodge the right way, you actually, it slows time down to where you can either escape or you can start attacking, and you can attack a lot more than you normally would, or you get an opportunity to possibly maybe back away and get a charged arrow. As you can see, I'm kind of here trying to bait the guy into attacking me, and kind of seeing if I can actually practice that a little bit.
In these old worlds, I used to lie down and pray that the leaves would cover me. That I could drag them over me like a blanket and join Cernunos in a bed of leaves. Tuck me in, stranger, with a song.
The sound of Odin stomping on your bones is the only song you hear. Aid me in my eyes.
Stop me!
That attack right there was, I think, the stun attack or something like that. It's like a poison thing. It didn't really obviously work. And coming up here in a second is that you flip over the back. It's another one of those skills that you get from the skill tree. This guy, in my opinion, he wasn't all that strong. Obviously, he doesn't have a shield. He's a big dude, but he's fairly easy to get his health taken away. He continuously drinks these health potions and everything like that, and then he'll throw this poison at you. As long as you stay away from that and use the arrow and then some of the special abilities, he's really actually not all that difficult to beat. And really, none of the Zealot members are all that difficult to beat. If you wait long enough into the game to battle them, after you have a little bit of the the adrenaline stuff, you have a decent amount of arrows, I actually think that they all are fairly easy to fight. In my opinion, one of the most difficult ones to fight was the guy up in Norway. He's in the top left-hand corner of the map, I think. He's like I'm not sure, he's 370, 380 or something like that. He's a fairly high level. He was a little more on the difficult end to beat. So anyway, that's the last Zealot battle I have. That's all 15 of them. Not too bad. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any suggestions, and like and subscribe, all that fun stuff.
Came to see him for a scrub. Rats have a certain freedom, but they feed on shit. It's a coward's freedom. A Valhalla for the vanquished.